So we have got some case studies, and we're going to hear from small, medium enterprises and startups who are really leveraging AI in their business. Our last one for this section is Michael Brown, founder of Orchard Mate. So Michael's an enthusiastic engineer and scientist with a deep passion for technology and its potential to improve human wellbeing, using Michael's passion and drive for innovation to found Orchard Mate. So using fictionless solutions to transform Australian agriculture into a data-driven, sustainable ecosystem. Orchard Mate is driving industry innovation and enhancing efficiencies across the board.
Hello everyone, I'm Michael, founder of Orchard Mate. We help olive orchards monitor tree stress over time using satellites. Can I get a show of hands who's been in an orchard before? Doesn't have to be olives. Oh, fantastic, all right. You're all experts then. So you might know someone like Ollie then. So Ollie was devastated by the olive lace bug. This pest stripped the entire canopy from his trees, and he lost over 75% of his produce. This is over $20,000 in losses for every 1,000 trees. And to make matters worse, it's going to take Ollie's trees 2 to 3 years to fully recover. Just think about that. Losing your primary source of income, 75% of it for 2 to 3 years. Scary stuff. So we want to help farmers like Ollie by alerting them to stress in their trees so they can proactively address problems before they become catastrophes. So how can we help Ollie? Well, traditional scouting involves driving or walking through an olive grove just like this. Thousands of trees. And think about what you might miss. That's where Orchard Mate comes in. It's a grove monitoring map and mate that alerts orchards about stressed trees so they can prioritize scouting the areas that need it most. So you can actually see what that looks like in this grove here. There's over 700 stressed trees, but they're mainly around the borders. So the grower can prioritize scouting these areas and save time. So these trees actually have the olive lace bug, but it was spotted early and it's manageable with spot spraying. If the lace bug had been missed, it spreads quickly and devastates the trees. And this is what it looks like in Ollie's grove. Now, this news article came out on the 12th of March, and fortunately, the satellite actually passed over on that same day. So that's an image from just after the devastation. Now, it's interesting because Orchard Mate can actually monitor water stress as well. This is a grove down in Geelong. Well, imagine this left side of the grove, it would turn red because this is at the start of January, and by the end, the left side of the grove was stressed. And so we alert the orchard so they can scout the trees when they're most vulnerable. Now, olive trees can also be stressed when they get too much water. And that's what's happening in this grove here. That left side of the grove, after heavy rain and poor drainage in the soil, the trees are actually stressed. And so the grower is alerted and then go out there and scout, and now they're looking for fungal disease. Does anyone recognize this? This is Cobram Estates Bort Grove. So it's not too far from here. And they actually suffer from similar drainage issues. And I went to the field day a few weeks ago and they highlighted they're actually looking for a large-scale monitoring solution. This grove is 2,700 hectares and has over 1 million olive trees. Imagine trying to scout that. So we've already demonstrated Orchard Mate can monitor water stress, and now we're talking with Cobram about perhaps running some trials at their grove. So you might be wondering, how does this actually work? Well, a healthy tree emits light differently to an unhealthy tree, and the satellites measure these differences through what's known as the Normalized Difference Vegetation Index, also known as NDVI. Now, NDVI is interesting because it actually only uses 2 types of light, but the satellite measures 12 different signals, and each of those signals tell us something different about the tree. NDVI is used because it's simple and something humans can understand, but our vision is to train AI models that can actually diagnose the cause of tree stress by using all 12 signals and how they change over time. Now, how we're going to do this is by collecting observations on the ground, and these will be labels we can use to train models to recognize the patterns of stress from the satellite data. So we actually have 30 groves signed up, collecting this data for us. How it works is the map is updated weekly, assuming there's no cloud cover, and the growers receive an email alerting them to stressed trees. This encourages them to go out and check the grove, the areas that are stressed, and they can record their observations directly into OrchardMate. So they'll have a record to see what's causing the stress. And we'll also have a record of this. So our vision is to provide actionable agronomy to every single tree. And to do that, I actually need your help. Firstly, if anyone knows orchard farmers, especially olive farmers, but also just any tree farmers that could be fruit or nuts, please connect with me. I'd love to reach out, and we're looking to hear from growers, hear what they're struggling with, and see what we can do with the satellites. I actually have a 3D printed olive pitter, so if you can connect me with an orchard, I'll give you one of these. They're quite good. You have to be careful. The tip can kind of shoot out, but very fun. The other thing I need help with is we're looking for an agronomist data scientist to help us. So if this is you or someone you know, please connect. You can either go to the website or come down to my stall over there. And I have my socials up at the last slide as well. Now, I just want to finish by kind of painting a picture of what the future could look like. So we're in an interesting time where several different technological streams are on exponential growth patterns. So you can see here, it used to cost $55,000 to spend a kilo into space. And that's been reduced to nearly $3,000 with the SpaceX Falcon 9. Can I get a show of hands? Did anyone see the Starship landing a few weeks ago from SpaceX? Okay, for those who didn't, after this presentation, I recommend you look it up on YouTube. It's really is crazy. So their goal is to get $10 a kilo capacity to send stuff to orbit. And how they're doing this is they sent the largest rocket ever. It's like a massive building up into orbit, and they actually caught it with a pair of chopsticks. And if they continue on the trajectory they're on, they could hit $10 a kilo to get things into orbit. And what that means for us is a lot more satellites that are a lot better and a lot cheaper. So right now there's publicly available satellites at 10-meter resolution. That's what you see on the right there. But you can't really see the trees. And there are 1-meter resolution satellites available. That's what you see in the other image. But they're quite expensive. If we got to $10 a kilo to send stuff into orbit, we could have sub-meter resolution satellite data freely available every single day. This is the kind of future we're heading into. Some other interesting developments are robotics. So some of you might have seen the drone sprayers. Imagine we can diagnose the cause of tree stress from the satellites. This could then communicate to the drone that there's olive lacebug, and the drone autonomously goes out and sprays the tree. So your orchard could be managed without any human labor. You see the little robot dog, that's from Boston Dynamics. That one has a blowtorch on its head. So there's lots of different avenues here. The robotics are really progressing just like all the other technology. What's also interesting is then renewables, and particularly solar power. So this is the acorn in the bottom right side. So that's an autonomous ground rover that's solar powered. So imagine that just going up and down your orchard, doing the jobs you need it to do. And lastly, my favorite is a 3D printed solar drone. So if you're worried about how to fix these things, you could have a little robotics factory 3D printing out your drones on the farm. Satellite communicates to that, it goes out and fixes the problem for you. Exciting stuff. That's it from me. I love technology, so if you want to geek out about technology, come have a chat at my booth. If you love olives and orchards, also come have a chat. really interested. We've got great reception from the farmers so far, and we're super excited to help the Australian olive industry and the Australian orchard industry revolutionise how they monitor their groves.